Audio Jungle.
Morning viewers, I'm Sila Firmanda from Headline News Today, bringing you the latest news today. The 2020 United States president election cannot be denied that it always attracts the world's attention. Although both are democratic countries, the United States has a different presidential election system from Indonesia. And now we have connected with reporter Kenny, who will be reporting live from Los Angeles, California. Yeah, Kenny, how is the status of the latest development surrounding the course of the United States presidential election?
Yes, I am currently at Staples Center, Los Angeles, California. And here they turned this stadium into one of the biggest polling venues in downtown Los Angeles. The participation rate of the United States in the 2020 election has indeed recorded the highest record. Even voters are willing to queue for hours to cast their votes amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Previously, Americans have flocked to the polls to elect a president in the most divisive election in decades. If you look behind me, there weren't many people because indeed the long line where people were waiting for their turn to come in and cast their vote was before polling day started. With the pandemic, of course, the change of the way the citizens of United States go to election this time are very different. If they usually do the early vote is indeed a system that is not new the United States. It's already exists, mainly to accommodate people with special needs or illness or who cannot attend election day and they want to vote early. This time, the initial election had broken record. The enthusiasm of United States citizens to vote in the 2020 presidential election this time is very high, despite the pandemic. I'm going to interview citizens of United States who seem to have voted. What do you think about this year's presidential election?
Voters have quit from 7 in the morning. Some have even quit up from 5 or 6 in the morning. They are indeed enthusiastic in choosing their respective candidates. Security forces are also encouraged. Yes, much of the figures were posted on the windows in anticipation of arrival.
Why do big downtown shops have seating in the window panes?
If they're made, parents and maybe parents, etc. After the election, it is certain that Beaver and some businesses in the city center put up sheds to guard their shop and businesses.
Why this year's many vote for early voting?
Maybe because the only candidates are Trump and Biden. Some even the Trump to Raymond, others are threat of the divisive rhetoric. So, hurry up and get out.
Did this also happen during the presidential election 4 years ago?
This year, more than 50% of citizens went to the polls earlier than election day. That 4 years ago, only this year.
Maybe that's what I can say. I am Kenny Roland reporting live from the US presidential poll back to the studio.
Okay, thank you. And now we have connected with guest star Elita Nur Ilahi, who will give the information about Electoral College. Okay, Elita, how are you today?
I'm good, really good.
I have some question to ask you. What is the Electoral College?
Simply said, it is a group of people appointed by each state who formally elect the president and vice president of United States. When Americans go to the polls in presidential election, they're actually voting for a group of officials who make up the Electoral College. The word college here simply refers to a group of people with a shared text.
How does the Electoral College?
The number of electors from each state is roughly in line with the size of its population. Each state gets as many electors as it has lawmakers in the U.S. Congress or representatives in the House and Senators. There are 538 electors in total.
Has a candidate lost the public vote but become president?
Yes, in fact, 2 out of the last 5 elections were won by candidates who had fewer votes from the general public than their rivals. It is possible for candidates to be the most popular candidate among voters nationally, but still fail to win enough states to gain 270 electoral votes.
Do electors have to vote for the candidates who?
In some states, electors could vote for whichever candidate they prefer regardless of who voters backed, but in practice, electors almost always vote for the candidate who wins the most votes in their state.
What happens if no candidate gets majority?
The House of Representatives, the lower house of U.S. lawmakers, will then vote to elect the president. This has happened only once, when in 1824, candidates split the electoral vote, gaining any one of them a majority.
Okay, thank you Elita for the information, and that's all the news for today. I'm Sheila Firmanda. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.